Polls have closed in Romania's high-stakes presidential election, with both sides claiming victory. Exit polls show pro-EU Nicosur Dan ahead of his far-right nationalist rival George Simion, with more than half the votes counted. In a speech, Dan said Romanian society had shown impressive strength, but he warned that hard economic times lie ahead. Both candidates have already claimed victory. Simion rejected the exit polls and called on his supporters to not allow electoral fraud. Let's go over to Bucharest now, where our correspondent Anshel Vora has been covering these elections. So, Anshel, voting ended just about an hour ago, and both sides are already claiming victory. What else are the candidates saying?
Well, just a short while ago, I spoke to Nicosur Dan. We're actually right outside his party headquarters. And he said that the exit polls are giving him a lead. He's a mathematician, so he was quite precise. He said, we're still waiting for results, though. But on the other side, George Simion has claimed victory. He said that he has won, although official results are not out yet, and exit polls are giving the centrist candidate a lead. So this is going to go down the wire. Now, it also remains to be seen if either side, and most likely the suspicion here is that Mr. Simion could dispute the election if Nicosur Dan gets the numbers once all the votes have been counted.
And tell us more about the two men who are vying to become Romania's next president.
Well, Nicosur Dan is very pro-Europe, very pro-EU. In fact, behind me, there's a large gathering and people are carrying the flag of the European Union. And many people we've met here told us that they want their country to go in pro-Europe, pro-West direction. Mr. Simion, on the other hand, is very critical of aid to Ukraine. He said that Romania will continue to be a member of the EU and NATO, but he's called his party a Trumpist party. So he's trying to draw a link, an ideological link between his party and the MAGA movement. Both candidates are being seen as, in a way, independent candidates because there is a large anti-establishment feeling here on the ground. But Mr. Simion, in a way, tried to portray himself as a pro-Trump candidate to crush or cancel the message of Nicosur Dan that if he were chosen, then Romania would move in an anti-West direction. But so far what we see here, that it's quite a tight race.
Now, we should remember that last year's presidential election was, in fact, annulled following claims of Russian interference. And now we're hearing again allegations of interference in today's runoff vote. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Telegram is a social media app, and the owner of Telegram is of Russian origin. And he said that there was pressure on him and his company from an unnamed Western government. He did not name which government, but he said there was pressure on him from a Western government to shut down the voices of conservatives in Romania, to which Nicosur Dan's party suggested that this in itself is interference. It amounts to interference because, in a way, it's trying to rally support behind George Simion. George Simion, on his end, has said that there are dead people on voting lists and that his party members and his supporters are keeping an eye on polling booths to check that these dead people do not emerge. So experts that we're talking to say that there is concern that if the results are very tight by the time all votes are in, then the election could be disputed, and these claims are coming in to sort of suggest that there is fraud.
DW correspondent Anshel Vora reporting for us from Bucharest. Anshel, thanks so much.